Hey everybody, it's Tammy with Tammy on Time, and I'm back to talk to you about the last 4 to 5 weeks of the bootcamp. We're talking about the Trilogy Education Services Data Analytics and Visualization Bootcamp partnered with Rice University. But before I get into that, I want to mention something that I think I forgot to mention in my last video. If you are specifically joining this bootcamp because you are interested in learning R, or that's one of the main coding languages that you're excited to learn, and you don't know very much about it, I do not recommend that you join this bootcamp specifically for that or expect to learn much on R. When you're working on your projects, you do have some class time allotted to them, and so usually what happens is you'll come in, they may talk to you maybe for an hour, 30 minutes, and then send you into breakout rooms for the rest of the class time to work on your projects. So that's basically what we would use that first 30 to 45 minutes for. I think we did that 3 times. So altogether, I say we probably got about maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of learning about R. And again, there's no homework assignment on R, and you're not required to use R in any of your projects. So there really wasn't a lot for you to practice on. So I just wanted to mention that if that is one of the things that you are heavy or excited or very interested about learning, I think that you could learn more by watching free tutorials on YouTube or free code camp or any of the other resources that are out there that teach R, because you are not going to get a grasp on it with this bootcamp. Let's jump into weeks 19 to 24. So week 19 or 20-ish, you're going to be doing Tableau. So the homework assignment for that sort of module is to go out and get a data set from Citi. The city bikes that they have in New York have a huge data set which tells you a lot of information about those rental bikes that you can rent from stations, ride them around the city, and then drop them off at another station. So you're going to download that data set, and you're going to figure out how to import that into Tableau. You're going to be doing all kinds of joins with the data, and you're going to use that to tell a story about the data set. So the homework is going to have some basic questions that you can answer, but you're also able to manipulate the data set and answer your own questions. You'll save all that to your Tableau public profile, which is really good because you can put that on your resume so that employers can see that you know Tableau and what you're able to do with data sets in it, and then it'll be graded from there. So your last sort of big section is going to be on machine learning. You will start out day 1 learning about the basics of machine learning, the difference between supervised, unsupervised learning, those sort of foundational topics. And then toward the end, which is really only day 3 or 4, you're going to be talking about neural networks and deep learning and things like that. So the machine learning homework is optional, but I highly suggest that you do it because your final project is an actual machine learning app that you're going to create. And that brings us to our final shebang, which is your final project. Your final project is going to be a machine learning app that you are going to create and host online. In addition to that, you'll need to display your data set on your website. You'll also have to display 3 Tableau visualizations on your website. You'll need an executive summary, a presentation, and then a write-up on the website as well. You'll have about 4 to 5 people on your team. Your instructor is going to suggest that you all break up into 2 groups and decide. One team is going to tackle machine learning, the other team will tackle Tableau. And then it's time to put all that together and present. So the final night of class is when you will show off your machine learning app. Every team will I believe there are 4 or 5 teams, you all will go around. I think you got 15 or 20 minutes, don't quote me on that, to do your presentations. After that, the dean from the college or university that Trilogy is partnering with will be there. You guys will have a warm and fuzzy talk. Everybody will get a pat on the back. And then, provided that you have met all the requirements for graduation, you will receive an email that night or the night thereafter asking you for the information for your certificate. The requirements for graduation are you have to have 88% attendance, 90% of your homework's done, which I believe equals out to just 2 missed assignments. And of all the graded assignments that you have, they have to be a C or better. 100% participation in group projects. You have to not only participate in them, you absolutely have to be there on the days when you present. Those You cannot be absent on those days. And then of course you have to pay any balances that are due or any financials. You'll need to clear those up before you can get your certificate. The instructor that we had at the end was very vocal about the fact that, you know, we had all paid a lot of money and he wanted everyone to graduate. He was really good about this, actually. So first thing he did was he went back over all of our graded assignments and changed the grade, and he only changed it if the grade that he was going to give was in your favor. So he didn't change anyone's grade to less than what it was, but he did change some of the assignments to higher grades. He also gave you the opportunity to make up any absences by going over those lectures. And I think you either had to submit a write-up or do the homework, or some way you had to let him know that you had actually watched the lecture in its completion. Of course, money, any finances that were due, he wasn't able to do anything about that. I do get the impression that that was just him. I don't know if every instructor will do that, and I would definitely not expect every instructor to do that, but he was very lenient in that regard and wanted to make sure that everyone kind of got a return on their investment, and we were thankful. So that was very nice of him. And that's it. That's the end of the boot camp. That is your 6 months. It was an interesting journey. It was a very interesting journey. That is 6 months of my life that I will never get back, and a lot of stress, but yeah, I'm glad that it's over with. If I had to do it all over again, would I choose this boot camp? And I think for me, the answer is no. If you are someone who's already working in this field, if you are someone who already has a lot of experience, you know, with data and with these coding languages, I think that you will get a lot of value out of it, and you may be able to keep up. But if you are someone who is an absolute beginner, as I said initially when I first started making these videos, that still stands. I do not think this is the boot camp for you. Will you be able to do it? Maybe. Like I said, I really think the only way that I was able to kind of make it through this thing was because I don't have any children. I'll be flat out honest with that. If you have a family, I don't see how you will be able to commit to this. It also moves really, really fast, and I don't really feel like I got a great grasp out of a lot of the coding languages that we learned and some of the topics. You know, I don't think I'd do it again. I wouldn't. The amount of stress that I had to go through to complete that thing is something that I do not want to ever go through again. I think I mentioned before that I developed dyshidrotic hand eczema flare from just this sheer amount of stress that I was going over. And so these are kind of my leftover scars from that. You know, just being kind of nasty to friends and family because I was in a bad mood. The amount of time that I did not have during this past 6 months, you know, and feeling guilty every time I was having fun, every time I was going out. I felt so guilty because I knew that there was so much that I need to be doing with school. For me, for my personal needs, and for anyone that is an absolute beginner, I would not recommend it. So all that being said, I will let you guys in on a little secret, because this is going to be another separate video. Right now, this is beginning of September. We're talking about May. So I completed the program like May 12th or something like that, second week in May. In July, I received an offer from the company that I am currently working with for a data governance analyst. So I finished the program in May. Less than 2 months later, I already had an offer for another job that is paying me $40,000 more than the previous role that I was in. To make that sort of a leap is something that you really don't see that often. And it is a testament to having the certificate, not necessarily this certificate, but I do think that having some sort of backing, the market really seems to be thirsty for people that are in data. Now, which road you're gonna take to get that certificate, it can be this long, stressful, stress-inducing route that I have taken, or it can be something that is more of your speed. But I feel comfortable in saying that you will have job opportunities, of course, based on where you live and based on a lot of other factors. But this is not going to be a certificate that you get and you're not going to be able to do anything with after. For now, I just wanted to kind of close up the 6 months and put a bow on that. So thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with another video soon.